Okay, so today we're diving into Estrellas de Aso, which translates to steel stars. And it's this really unique philosophy that, believe it or not, creates a direct line from the vastness of the cosmos right down to the ground beneath our feet. Let's get into it.
So, the whole thing really boils down to this one beautiful question. How does some distant star, way out there in the galaxy, have anything to do with a tiny little seed here on Earth? It might sound kind of out there, but you're about to see how surprisingly concrete the connection really is.
All right, our journey starts with what we can call the cosmic equation. This is where we break down the fundamental building blocks, the core symbolism of this entire worldview.
At its heart, you've got two key geometric shapes. First up is the hexagram. Yep, the classic six-pointed star. In this system, it represents our sun. You know, that local, immediate, life-giving energy. It's the microcosm. Then you have the heptagram, the seven-pointed star. This one symbolizes something much bigger, the vast structural order of the entire galaxy. That's the macrocosm. So what happens when you put those two together? You get this, the Sgillum Sidereum, or the sidereal seal. It's basically the visual for their sacred union, a powerful symbol for perfect cosmic balance. And why even bother trying to find this balance? Well, this quote just nails it. This isn't just some abstract mental exercise. The whole point is to find the equilibrium between the sun and the galaxy for the love of life. It's a principle that's deeply rooted in vitality, in a profound appreciation for existence itself. And here's where the math gets really elegant. You just take the 6 points from the solar hexagram and you add the 7 points of the galactic heptagram. And what do you get? 13. Now this number isn't random at all. It's the cosmic algorithm, the key code that we're going to see pop up again in a place you would never expect.
So we have this abstract number, 13, born from these cosmic symbols. But where in the world does it actually show up? Well, let's jump into our next section and see how this whole equation gets physically grounded in nature.
Let me introduce you to the Araucaria, also known as the Brazilian pine. And more specifically, we're looking at its pine cone. According to this philosophy, this isn't just any old pine cone. It's a living, biological blueprint of the very same cosmic geometry we were just talking about.
And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. The math checks out. If you look closely at the scales on the cone, you'll see they're arranged in spirals. And the number of spirals going in each direction, they're almost always consecutive Fibonacci numbers. And guess what number pops up all the time? 13. The exact same number from our cosmic algorithm, 6 plus 7, is literally written into the code of this seed.
Now, to really grasp the tree's full role here, we need to understand this concept, the axis mundi, or the world axis. It's a term for a sacred object. It could be a mountain, a temple, or, in this case, a tree, that's believed to be a connector, a kind of bridge between the heavens and the earth.
And you guessed it, in this system, the Araucaria tree is that axis mundi. It's seen as this ancient, timeless witness on our planet, a living pillar that has been connecting the deep history of the Earth to the stars for millions of years. So here's the crucial part. This connection isn't just a one-way street up to the sky. The Araucaria's axis runs in both directions. It reaches down, connecting to the ancestral depth of the Earth, symbolized by the underground homes of the indigenous Kaingang people, and it reaches up, connecting that deep history to the very heart of the galaxy.
Okay, so we've connected the stars to a tree. Now, the system introduces a really radical shift in our perspective. This section explores how a simple act of reorienting ourselves can be an incredibly powerful tool for decolonizing the mind.
And here it is. In this philosophy, the map is flipped completely upside down. North is not up. The southern cone of South America is positioned right at the top of the world. And this simple visual flip is designed to challenge pretty much everything we take for granted about our place in the world.
The idea behind this is actually really simple and incredibly powerful. Change the perception, change the maps. This isn't just about geography, you see. It's an act of what's called mental decolonization. It's about freeing your mind from the inherited, often colonial, hierarchies and worldviews we all grow up with. So what does this actually do in practice? Well, step 1, it totally subverts that traditional North is dominant hierarchy. Step 2, it lets you center your own territory as sacred as your starting point. And step 3, it forces you to realign your entire spiritual compass, creating a brand new orientation to the world and the cosmos.
This brings us to our final section, which connects this whole philosophy to our modern digital age. How do these ideas of balance and perspective apply to a world that's run by networks and information?
Let's use an analogy here because it makes perfect sense. The solar model represents the old structures. You've got one central star, one authority, one truth being broadcast out. Think of old school institutions. But the galactic model, on the other hand, represents the network. Many stars, each one with its own sovereign orbit. Infinite paths, all decentralized and interconnected.
So how are you supposed to navigate this new galactic reality? Well, the practice is called chaos magic. It's basically the art of deconditioning your mind from that old, rigid solar model so you can learn to surf the great wave of the networks. And the goal is to achieve synchronicity, that state of meaningful coincidence and flow within the network.
This quote really bridges the 20th and 21st centuries. It draws a direct line from the famous esoteric philosopher Aleister Crowley all the way to the pioneering digital activist Aaron Swartz. Now, their worlds might seem miles apart, but the common thread is this radical belief in individual sovereignty and the end of institutional control. In the age of the network, everything is published.
And you can really see the evolution of that thought here. It starts with Crowley's core principle: every man and every woman is a star. This idea of individual power. Then, that idea gets scaled up by a huge symbolic trigger, the moment Voyager 2 actually left our solar system, which pushed our consciousness from a solar to a truly galactic perspective. Then finally, Aaron Swartz comes along and provides the modern tools, fighting for the information freedom that makes a decentralized galactic network even possible.
Okay, so let's boil all this down. What are the big takeaways here? First, that cosmic balance, symbolized by 6 + 7 = 13, isn't just a cool idea. It's literally encoded into nature itself. Second, perspective is power. You really can change your world just by changing your map. And third, spirituality itself is evolving, moving away from those rigid solar hierarchies and toward more fluid galactic networks.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about, one that turns this entire cosmic system right back around to you. In a galaxy of infinite stars and infinite paths, what orbit are you choosing?
And that's our explainer for today. Thanks for tuning in.